thinker? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know your own dreams?
I never thought about it.
When you were a wee little Sheaves, when you were just shit, what did you think you would grow up and be?
I didn't really think about that when I was little.
What?
No. Everybody had the plans. I just, I'll see.
You just marauding through life. You just showboated out. Jack, how about you, buddy?
What about you, Stocks?
We'll get to me. We'll get to me, but you're the special guest.
Were you a dreamer or a memer when you were young?
No, we'll get there. What did Jack want to be when he grew up?
I want to be. I really like basketball and chess. I didn't think I was gonna, end up playing either of those, but I think some of that vocabulary comes into Dota.
This is baloney. This is the basketball is Dota is basketball and chess. Jeremy Lin, don't lie to me.
Well, I do think that's influenced me a lot because I think a lot of that, vocabulary or the concepts in those games have made their way into Dota. And Dota is very similar to those.
Sure. Our personal time's already over. Damn it. Sorry,
but now we know. Oh, no. I'm sure that the war room can wait a little while to hear your dreams.
I don't think so. I'm
sure that everybody is fine with just holding off on the Dota talk until you have stated what your dream was when you were growing up. A wee little lad.
I will go ahead and share it until the first pick happens. Now, I was just a young boy. The year was 1988 when I was born in the beautiful United States of America, and times were tight back then, a boy born.
What was your dream, Slack?
I'm working on it.
You're stalling.
I'm not stalling. Now I have to start over.
No, you don't.
You interrupted me.
You really don't.
Hey, oh shoot, we better head over to the war room right now. Check out what's going on with this pick.
Hello, Slacks.
Hi.
Hello.
I think we already know.
Yeah.
I actually like this. I think this is open-ended. I don't think that we can. I think this is more than likely offlaner, but I think
it could be support.
It could be support because it looks like Miposhka is trying to find himself new heroes. He was the big Monkey King player, big Earth Spirit player. Monkey King's gonna get banned pretty much every single game, it seems. Earth Spirit has fallen out of the favor, so he looks to be going for these kind of like roaming heroes. We saw the Tusk, we saw the Spirit Breaker in the last game, so it is a bit of a change-up though coming from him. But it still is open-ended, and I do like this Clockwork pickup though. Definitely been seeing a lot more favor as well. So Nature's Prophet, this is a old school, I feel like general staple. He used to play this hero a lot, so I'm going to be throwing that one in the offlane.
Yep.
And then the Wisp, that's actually a pretty big change up. I actually don't really think that I've seen Navi play too much Wisp. I think that it's... Which one of them play it? So now they've been switching up a lot.
I mean, again, I would say Soneko, we've seen in the past, can play it very well, but with the way that they're playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they do put Biver on it.
Yep.
This game.
We do have a Terrorblade being picked up. This is one of the strongest heroes of the patch, it does seem.
Yeah, someone that's going to be able to do semi-okay in the lane, having that high base armor against a hero like MP who does pack a fair bit of punch now, coming into lane with, I can't remember the exact base, it's like 60-something, and 64 base damage or something ridiculous with the Treants. Get a TB in the lane, pick yourself up a poor man's shield, suddenly the Treant harass isn't going to be too much for you to deal with early on. You're going to be able to get the farm, get the CS in the lane.
I like the variety that they have from Empire already. Like, this is what the last game they didn't have anything at all like this. They had a Lifestealer and the Spirit Breaker first two. Now they go for Clockwork Terrorblade. Just a completely different approach, having a lot of versatility in their draft for sure. It's interesting.
Are we getting a global draft, boys? The global strat?
Is it time for Zeus?
Possible?
Let's spec down.
Dendy Zeus, I think that's unlikely. Pycat Spectre is certainly more likely, but I feel like Pycat would rather play other heroes than the Spectre. What did we see him play later? We did see him play kind of a late game core yesterday. Wait, was it the Spectre? Did he play Spectre yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? Okay, there we go. I think, but Spectre IO, unless you're looking to pair up the IO with someone really strong in the mid lane, which we might see an IO, with Dendy combination, someone that if they want to go full global, the Spectre could be an option.
I think it's a bit greedy, especially versus Terrorblade who can force towers down, but if they do want to go for that global late game potential, just like split the map up a lot, try to get your Spectre really big, I guess it's a slight possibility. Not really a huge fan of a Wisp Spectre combo though.
What about the Pycat Lycan getting some kind of push together?
Ooh.
Maybe. It's also still a little bit of weird with Wisp, but it does give them the building forcing with a Nature's Prophet.
And how that beefs up Treants, right? That's pretty good.
I mean, Pycat.
I mean, Howl is just a really good spell now. It's been buffed so many times now. It gives that ultimate amount of HP in the nighttime. So, I mean, it's a possibility. It's a hero that we saw picked a couple of times at Kiev, and it has its strengths.
I mean, we could certainly see Pycat play any of the classic IO combinations with Pycat CK or
He
Sven.
plays so many different heroes.
Yeah. He's got a lot of versatility.
He really does. They banned out the Tiny and the Lina Empire, so they take out the two big bursters, which is pretty appropriate for them since they have a Terrorblade. And Na'Vi takes up a Disruptor. They had a lot of success with this yesterday. I think this is a hero that I think the CIS teams just love, honestly. I think I see all the CIS teams pick this hero a lot. It just gives you a lot of catch and gives you good team fight. Just very straightforward.
A little bit of a deny pick, too, from Empire. Pretty good against Wisp, you know?
Yeah,
they could use that for themselves, so yep, I like it. Oh, and what's your favorite spot on that map to jungle as Nature's Prophet, cliff jungling? Can you point that out for me?
Well, this is, as we mentioned before, this is the old map.
That's the old map.
Do it.
On this map,
don't do it.
Well, what are they going to do? Load up the old map? It's
Don't do it.
I don't think we're going to see Nature's Prophet go on a cliff a single time in this game.
Come on, bro.
Thank you.
Okay. He may start, you know, we did see General start in the jungle.
Not on a cliff.
He did start in the jungle dogs, but not on a cliff. We might see him like migrate toward here if he feels like their safe lane's a bit too strong, but I think we'll be seeing him just kind of migrating between the two.
Put him back on that cliff just for a moment.
No. Don't indulge this man, please.
Okay.
So Witch Doctor, again, being grabbed up.
Yeah, the WD out.
I mean, this is... people used to do this versus Nature's Prophet. You can deal with the treants, so he can't like mess with your pull. You can just stun the treants. So you have the cast bouncing between them. You can easily bring them down. And again, it's just a super strong safe laner.
And we talked about. I keep trying to clarify this, but I believe it does work. The Sunder Maledict combo.
Careful.
we were talking about that one at
If you
Kia.
Maledict someone,
Oh my god.
then you Sunder them.
No.
That's because it's done on that HP difference. I'm pretty sure it works. So that in itself could be pretty brutal. I mean, it's a little niche. It's probably not why they're picking it, but get ready to see some heroes just getting absolutely blown up by the Sunder Maledict combination.
I think it gives. I think this still could be.
It should work.
Yeah, it should work. I think this still is cool though. The Witch Doctor Clockwork. Now you have like the Witch Doctor can always like go to the Clockwork's lane when he gets 6, and he can go for those pretty easy like pickoffs. We used to see these combos a lot, like the Skywrath Clockworks, or Witch Doctor Clockwork, or Witch Doctor Void, something along those lines. Gives them kill potential with their supports. I mean, it's still open ended. I think where the Clockwork's going to go, in my opinion, but they do have that type of versatility still.
Talk to us, Jack.
I'd like to see maybe an Ember or something out of Na'Vi. I know they like to save Dendy's pick for last. They're going in a completely different direction here. A ton of mobility out of this draft. I think that was... We talked about potentially maybe trying to match Empires. It feels like the teams are almost switching places here. It feels like Empires is maybe more of a Vega draft. It seems so far they want to be able to fight around the Terrorblade, protect the Terrorblade, and then take objectives. That's what that hero offers. A self-sustaining hero who can fight very well and ultimately be like that big core that we were talking about. For Na'Vi, with all this mobility and vision, those are... How to address that issue has been a big issue for most teams, I think, in this patch, and especially after 7.0 with all these shrines. How do you see what the enemy's doing? How do you keep track of all these rotations? There's so many possibilities now with the shrines up. And so with the Wisp, the mobility from that, and the treants, of course, providing vision as well, it's kind of Navi's plan to be able to find these pickoffs here and there. So we'll see if Na'Vi is able to execute more of an Empire game plan here instead of Empire almost playing a little differently this time.
Yeah, where's that mobility? Where's that aggression that we saw in game 1? I guess they still have one pick to fix that.
Empire is really liking Ember Spirit. This is 3 games now. They played it once yesterday, now twice here.
Yeah, we've seen how FN can play well, a great Ember all kind of flat out, but also how well he is at recovering from a bad laning stage. We saw him not only today, but as you mentioned in the game the other day as well, where he gets a little bit out of the lane to start, but he doesn't crush the lane. And you know, he doesn't feed in the lane either, but I don't think we even saw him getting taken down. He just kind of realizes, all right, I can't stick around, back into the jungle, and at the end of the day, he's you know, right up at the top of the net worth, making some huge plays, being very hard for the enemy team to maintain control of. And at the moment, what do you got to catch him? You've got a Disruptor, which is pretty good. At the same time, though, you can play around the Glimpse Static Storm. You get the timing with the Remnants out. It's I wouldn't say it's as solid of a catch as it may seem on paper for the Ember. And you look at the rest of the heroes, IO, NP, Slark, the heroes that aren't going to really be doing anything in terms of trapping him, and heroes that are going to take quite a bit of damage. You see that IO, a couple of Remnants straight in, and you're going to be able to take the IO straight out of the fight.
This looks like a pretty scary game to play IO in, for sure. They can just get into the backlines quite easily with the Clock, with the Ember Spirit. Not a whole lot of lockdown on the side of Na'Vi, as you're mentioning, so... The thing is that the Slark versus the Ember Spirit kind of matchup, it goes a little bit both ways. Ember in the early game obviously favors that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Enigma. Let's
so that could
get
be the offlaner, right?
out.
That's probably the offlaner, so it is more than likely Clockwork support. It seems like
Which
Empire
is what we mentioned. Yeah.
We were saying it, you know, Miposhka really likes to pick his hero early so they can just like dictate the pace of the game with his movements. So that's an interesting approach.
I mean, we could see... Wait, was it Empire that went greedy? No, that was Vega. Vega went greedy where they did put Clockwork, play the support player. Shoma played it on the off lane, and they did put a jungle in the jungle. So that maybe they could go greedy as well like that. But yeah, the Spirit versus Spirit matchup coming out of the mid lane. So Storm, again, a little bit of catch for the Ember. You've got the Vortex to pull him in, but still, I feel like FN could certainly have a very good game once again. A lot of it all down to how big Pycat can get on his Slark, a hero that can play around the TB. Doesn't have to worry about the Sunder because of the Shadow Dance if he times it. But I got to be honest, I think this looks pretty good for Empire.
Yep, Navi's trying to avoid fights. Empire's trying to fight.
Go get that casting desk occupied, please. Thank you. Yes, we are the ones to decide who's going to win. We are the ones to vote.
Wow.
Odie and Fogged, they don't get the vote. They are supposed to be unbiased commentators. So, Jack, you are allowed to be biased. Who do you think is going to take this second game?
So full mobility coming out from Navi. They're going to have to be very crisp and precise because their heroes are a bit squishy. And in the mid game, I could see them having some issue holding up against Empire. If Empire does get that push going, especially with that last pick, Enigma being able to protect the Terrorblade, one of those please fight into me type of things. I like Empire's draft once again. So,
all right.
You said a lot of things about Empire, and I'll explain everything I need to say about Navi when they win.
Right. When they win?
Yeah, I'm on Navi.
All right. I think Navi's going to also take this because I would like to talk to Pycat again.
It's not how you
Let's
decide
see
a
if that's
game.
going to happen. We're going to our second game. It is back to Odie and Fogged.
Prepare for battle.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back, of course, to some more action here on the playing field. We're getting ourselves ready for Game 2. Navi... There we go, that's better. Navi versus Empire. Game 2 coming up right now. I'm ODPixel, here with Fogged, and the game has begun, so let's hop ourselves straight into it. As we did, as we saw, we're getting some interesting picks. We've got Dendi on the Storm, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch. We've also got Ghostic on the Enigma. Some big team fight playing heroes, and all in all, what the heck is that?
The Storm taunt. They just added it. Remember, it wasn't working in the last patch.
What
and
is
this? They just fixed it in the bug in this recent one.
Wait, where was that music coming from? Was that the Storm?
No, that was the Nature's Prophet taunt.
Oh, that was the Nature's Prophet taunt. I had some fat beats, and I was like,
Storm does
what is going down?
He does like the backflip kind of thing. We're waiting to see it again. Dendi will probably spam it some more. But taking a look at the drafts. Oh, there it is.
So this isn't a new one, you're saying? Oh no,
remember it was the one. Yeah, it was the one that wasn't working initially, and now they did fix it.
It was meant to be there if you got the first one. No, that was coming from Dendi, wasn't it?
No, he was taunting again on the Fury.
I want to see General do it. Is that another new one, or was that one?
No, that's the old one. That was the one that was added the last time around. The Make It Rain. So now he's dancing again. All right.
Oh, that's General ready to bring the pain with the rain.
So Navi's going for a very different type of approach this time. They did not really like the way that the wombo combo heavy team fight lineup worked because they had to have such perfect execution. So now this time they're going for a much greedier type of draft, split up the map. Not a whole lot of catch for the Storm and Slark, as Jack was mentioning. They're very hard mobility heroes. But I think Empire has some very heavy team fight and also can force buildings and force objectives. So it's going to be very hard for Navi, I think, in this game. But I think if they can force it and they can just take this game to later stages, they can look pretty good.
I'm mid lane. We'll see how well FN can do this time round. See if he is maybe actually able to have good enough stuff that he could stick around in the lane. Ember against the Storm. Both have their strengths.
So it is Seneko, and he's playing a Jungle Wisp. So he's going for some type of greed style, having the Iron Talon just starting there. And then going to get his bottle and make the moves around to secure the lanes. Miposhka with boots going to be running at him right away. They did spot him making the movements, but...
Miposhka. This roaming clockwork at the moment. He's trying to set what he can from the Aya.
So this is going to be a little annoying for Pycat, though, because Ghostic's going to non-stop denying a range creep from him over and over again in the offlane. So Terrorblade is definitely going to be coming ahead in the laning phase over this Slark.
Mid lane CS at the moment, very close between the two of them as Dendi and FN salve up.
Yeah, it's a slightly favored Storm matchup.
Yeah.
Until the Ember Spirit has a couple levels, and if he does get a rotation, he can get some pretty good kills on the Storm Spirit. But yeah, the Remnant always able to break the Flame Guard is pretty good.
Top lane General. Put a bit of pressure onto the TB, but as you said, TB should have a little bit better of time in comparison to Pycat. Couldn't even see us at the moment. But we'll see how aggressive Ghostic is able to play on that bottom lane.
And he's just got to spam deny. He's just he brought like 4 or 5 clarities even just to make sure that he can always be pulling the lane back in his favor. Just deny the range creep, pull it back, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. He even actually, this is a cute little ward that Empire did place. They blocked Navi's pull, so Disruptor, Biver, is actually getting no experience in the safe lane, so just Slark pretty much in a 1v1 kind of aspect, while Biver's running around trying to find what he can.
Yeah, Dendy just starting to take the lead as you expected here in this mid lane matchup.
Yeah.
Being able to just kite FN up. Keep very hard for FN to get in close and personal with the Flame Guard harassment as he would like to against Dendy. Both teams playing for the greed at the moment. Io still in the jungle. Miposhka is going to find him with this rotation, but Biver's there as well. Miposhka does have to be careful, but yeah, I guess with the brown boots straight up, no sort of catch.
Well, they do have the TP though from the Nature's Prophet. Miposhka's not going to expect this one. He's going to be able to get brought down with the extra damage from the right clicks.
This could be your first blood. Yeah, a couple more touches, and that's going to be the clock out and down.
Very nice TP.
Great play from General. As you said, just maybe Clock forgetting that there's a Nature's Prophet in the game there, getting heavy with the harassment and keeping himself on low health as he dives in deep.
Yeah, that's great. Now General rocks mid, giving some right-click harassment to FN2. Excellent rotation. He wasn't getting a whole lot up there in the top lane because of the chain pulse coming out from King R, so I do really like that move coming out from General.
Top lane. Bottom lane, sorry, Piker getting aggressive with his positioning. Poshka will be there to force the Snark back. General between the lane and between the jungle. Just keeping the farm high, keeping himself safe. Lack of kind of pressure that he's applying on the top lane there will free up the lane for Chappie.
Yeah, Dendy's going to start pulling pretty far ahead in this matchup mid just because of Bottle Wisp coming in, just healing him up to full over and over again. So FN, we're probably going to see the same scenario that we've seen in the past on his Ember. He's probably going to resort to the jungle once he gets his Bottle, just because, yeah, it's a hard matchup already versus the Storm Spirit. And then with the assistance of Wisp as well coming in, it definitely hurts.
Kane's done for Ghostic. Him and FN shrining up on the sidelines. Yeah, we'll see if he does want to go back to the lane, or if this is the time to jungle. Still just a quarter of the way to the level 5. Miposhka did manage to pick up level 2, still yet to skill that second level. So seeing what opportunity arises for him to make some sort of a play. Top lane, General, is she playing around with King R here? Cask will keep him back. King R taking a fair bit of damage, of course, from that Nature's Prophet right clicks.
Mid lane, Miposhka's invis. This could be when they try to go for something aggressive.
See if they can block off, yeah. And with the battery assault, this is going to cause quite a bit of an issue here for Seneko. Does manage to get the tether off in time. The chains did connect, but he can't quite close the gap at him. So Seneko survives. And yeah, Dendy will be the sacrifice by the looks of it. Certainly the bigger one. He'll put the Verify in the bottle. He's certainly making them work for it. And with the brown boots, what could he do? Not a lot. Will end up going down. At the least, splits the gold between them as he takes the last hit from the tower. That's a kill in return for Empire. Bringing down Dendy, and yeah, as you said, just having that invis rune, very fortunate for Miposhka, allowing him to make that sort of play.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again with the rotations, Miposhka always he's literally just playing in the enemy jungle, running around.
Is.
Same thing as the last game, same thing as we saw yesterday. Just like, that's just the playstyle he likes to do. Keep that aggression going. Ghostic now is going to resort to the jungle. He's already got his Arcane Boots finished up. Going to be putting that Midas into his quick buy, going for that greed that we see pretty much every single Enigma's doing after we saw S4 debut that at DAC. Pyket now getting some openings to his lane. I'd like to see Pyket go for like the Aquila, maybe even just like a raindrop or something, so he can get the jungle and give the Disruptor the lane a bit, so that they can get levels. Because Biver is definitely suffering a bit in that aspect. Miposhka, he's gonna get sandwiched here by 3 heroes. Are they gonna have enough to bring him down though?
Looks like they've got the phase boots on General, so he's got a good amount of chase down potential. Might not be enough. Pycat will jump forward. Got the kinetic field. It connects, and Pycat will grab himself the kill, so an extra bit of tasty gold for the safe lane Slark. Navi again, they are punishing these Clock's movements. He's got to be careful, Miposhka, how he moves around. As we saw, the only time he's actually been able to do something good for the team was when he had an invis rune. Other than that, he's just been a bit of a liability at this moment in time.
He's forcing them to move around though and stuff. Like, dying obviously isn't what you want to be doing, but I mean, this is just his playstyle. He likes to just move around. Like, he first picks his hero. he just tries to set the pace of the game like that.
I guess you're creating space for the TB. You know, if they're looking at you in their jungle, they're not going to be harassing Chappie on the top lane.
This is a no-tail rotation right here. OG does this very often. 6 or 7 minutes in, we see the Tower Blade make the movement out of the safe lane, try to pressure and take the safe lane tower. It's a very good thing to do versus a Slark as well, because then you don't let them do exactly what I was talking about. Like, leave the lane, go jungle, and give the support to the lane. But top lane, we just see General actually just get a nice right-click kill onto King R. Just chase him down with the Sprout with the Wisp Tether.
King R was left there to pick up some solo XP, whilst the rest of his team pushed. And indeed, punishment was made. Empire will, though, find the tier 1 in return. As now, this half of the map being kind of cornered off for Na'Vi. Empire will have a bit of an easier job of keeping control of the enemy jungle. Make sure that Pycat doesn't have the space to find the farm that he needs on that Slark. This is opening in turn the top lane. General, after finding the kill, now moving in to put pressure onto the tower. Fortification will come out. But between the two of them and with the treants out, they could do a good job of bringing this tier 1 down. And Empire not really looking to be interested in keeping this one up. It looks like Na'Vi in return will find a tier 1 themselves.
Yeah, too hard for them to try to defend those if they don't have heroes already set up. Miposhka, though, going to go up there and sap a good chunk of experience for himself on the Clockwork. Much needed as well, because he's only level 3.
And King R's thinking about a wraparound. General will be a lovely find. They'll try for Patrick's help, but okay, the Cogs will do it. They'll push him out of the TP. And the Maledict on him is going to tick down low. They'll go for the Remnant Burst and the Chains. Make sure that there's no TP chance for this Nature's Prophet. And Empire will punish General after making that push. Lots of catch between their lineup.
Yeah, it looks like Pycat's going to anyway. I think this is the thing you have to do as your Slark. Just go jungle. Yep. You can farm faster with Dark Pact and just give one of your supports the lane. Viper now takes it.
But getting the Midas, did you like that on the Slark, or do you prefer to see straight into some mid-game fight pick up potential?
He had the Ring of Aquila in his quick buy before, and then he switched it up to the Midas, so I guess he just feels like, okay, we have the lineup that wants to go late game. We want to just get the farm going, so it's okay. I think you need it to... I think it's pretty good versus Terrorblade, if you want to be able to match his farm and match his levels and everything as a Slark, so I think it's definitely appropriate to kind of go for that if he gets it in an early time, and he will have it at a pretty decent timing anyway, so...
Absolutely, just a couple of hundred away for Pycat to finish that. TP into the mid lane at FN. He'll be fine at this point of the game, level 8. Very easy for him to get away. And as we talked about earlier, very little that Na'Vi can do to stop him. Top lane, Dendi. They're going to make a play onto Miposhka, but Dendi is out of mana. General will come hunting for the clock around the side of the tree line, and with the treants out, they will take the kill. So again, Miposhka being taken down. I think that's the 3rd time he's fallen this game. A lot of deaths on the Clockwork.
Dendi is low on mana. He actually has Soul Ring though, bottles up. He should be okay to just turn this maybe on King R, but it's a little bit bold.
Just looking for it. General will sprout out the Witch Doctor. Dendi goes for the TP away. He's going to make it. King R ends up going down, and now General, he knows he's safe to get out of there. The Maledict, that is going to bring him down low, but the Fountain regen should offset the damage, and indeed it will. Elsewhere, though, Io ends up going down. Snako was looking to try and pick up some levels in the mid lane, get him towards the 6, but FN straight in with the triple Remnant Burst, more than enough to bring down the Io.
That was a nice TP there by Dendi. Once the cast was thrown, they isolate the Witch Doctor, and then he's able to TP out under that Terribly. And they even force a meta there. So Chappie having to use the Metamorphosis, not on an objective, is very important for Na'Vi there. Going to slow down their objective taking.
And General just holding onto this top lane. Drums complete on the phase.
I'd like to see Ghostic starting getting involved now, too. I want him to see there's some movements coming out from him. He's been jungling for a while. He's got the Arcane's Midas. And he's pretty much their reliable lockdown in a way versus the Slark versus the Storm Spirit. And now, yeah, Pycat gets the Midas. He's got the raindrop for that mana regen, and now he's going to double back for that Shadow Blade, as we always say.
Now both sides with their 3 cores in a pretty good position. No one really falling behind at this stage of the game. Everyone's getting what they want from the early stages.
We have a smoke coming out from Na'Vi. They have level 6 on the Disruptor, so they've got their big ulti. Ghostic trying to make a play onto Pycat here.
Let's see who makes the jump first. Yeah, there's both teams with the potential to counter the play. There's going to be the movement in onto the Enigma. Glimpse back into the Static Storm. That'll be Ghostic down. Pycat picks up the kill. More gold in his bank towards the Shadow Blade. Seeing if he can get more out of this. King Arc goes for the TP out. Do they have any sort of cancel? They don't need it. The damage from the Dart Pack, more than enough. Pycat grabs himself the double, and Na'Vi, they're not done yet. They'll look towards Miposhka, trying for the TP out. But, ooh, just makes it out in time. Thunderstrike will bring him down low, not enough to kill him. But Na'Vi with some nice plays there, the smoke up catching Empire off guard. Pycat getting a good chunk of money out of that one as well, so he'll be moving very swiftly towards that Shadowblade after the Midas pickup, especially with his tier 1 going down as well on the bottom lane, as Empire just not in a fit shape to hold on to it. Now, that's scary. You've got to be careful what you give this Slark at this stage of the game. If Pycat gets Shadowblade in reasonable time, it's going to make the game very hard for Empire.
Yeah, playing Witch Doctor versus a Slark with Shadowblade is very difficult. You get brought down super easily with your low armor. Even a Clockwork support, since he's so underfarmed, he's pretty susceptible to getting pretty much almost solo killed by the Slark as well. And this is impressive, though. You look at Navi's lineup, and they're like, okay, they have a Nature's Prophet to take towers, but they have a tower advantage over a Terrorblade lineup already, just because that meta was forced top, and just the way that they were taking the fights and expecting the movements from Empire.
Smoke to be picked up from Biver.
Empire's going for one of their own.
Let's see.
Draw the line toward the top lane. They want to be able to claim this tower with the next meta, or maybe even go for the mid one, it looks like. But they don't really have... They have, like, no wards up right now, actually, on the side of Empire. So they're going to be placing some down here deep.
They've got level 6 here on Miposhka. So, Hookshot ready to close the gap. Nice towards the mid lane, but Na'Vi already up on the high ground. Very hard for Empire to make that jump that they need. Miposhka will waltz up. Hookshot straight into the face of the Disruptor, but the Static Storm comes out. Ember remnants into the Storm. They'll get the relocate out just in time to keep him alive. Na'Vi not losing anyone as of yet. Dendy will be rooted up. Sorry, General's the one to take down. Dendy zips back out just in time. The Black Hole attempted from Ghostic, but again, the plays here from the IO keeping the team alive. Seneko was a big re-relocate, as Ghostic will end up falling. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment. Both off-laners losing their life. Shadowblade's just been picked up by Pycat, so we could expect to see him try and get himself back in the fight if he wishes to do so. Biver and Seneko falling down low, so they'll back off. Pycat, does he want to go hunting? He's thinking about it, up on the high ground. See what he can find, but yeah, a bit of a messy fight there, but it's, at the end of the day, I think it's going to end up working out okay for Na'Vi, especially if Pycat wants to go for this free kill. Finds himself King Art, and indeed, no way for the Witch Doctor to get himself out of that. So Na'Vi do end up finding the favorable trade in terms of numbers.
Yeah, really high risk or high skill plays there coming up from Na'Vi. The relocate on the Disruptor, and then the Storm getting that, or Dendy getting the perfect zip as the Black Hole comes out. Empire does get themselves in tower, and they do kill General again now bottom. So General died mid, and then now he dies bottom. So, and he's worth a big chunk of money. So it is.
He is.
It is giving Empire a decent amount with those.
Dendy may find himself a tier 1 here, as Miposhka is eyeing it up from the sidelines. Hookshot's available again, but Dendy does have backup. Tier 1 very low.
They want this tower. General just spam pinged it. Even though he's dead, they definitely want to be able to claim all these tier 1s versus Terrorblade lineup.
They'll get it by the looks of it. Fortification will come through. Might see King R attempt for a deny, but it could come at the cost of his life, yeah. With Dendy in the neighborhood, you don't want to mess around. Storm, more than ready to zip on top of the Witch Doctor. Pycat on the backlines, checking out the situation, knows where Chappie is, actually going to go in and put a bit of aggression in. In fact, with the zip forward from Dendy in the Vortex just in time to make sure there's no Sunder, a very clean pick-off from Na'Vi.
Looking a bit scary now for Empire. Na'Vi claiming a lot of different objectives. They're getting so much information on the map. They have deep wards all over the place, so they're watching whenever the Terrorblade does go for that farm, and having that Wisp relocate with their Shadowblade, just like Jack was mentioning. It's a lot of vision game coming out from Na'Vi this time, and so far it's working out very well for them. And this is exactly the kind of start that they need, too. I was worried about them losing too many objectives early on, getting their towers taken and not being able to kind of catch up. But when they're playing and they're ahead already in the early game, about a 3,000 gold advantage, this is perfect for them with their type of lineup.
Yeah, Pycat gets the Echo Saber in good time, which he's certainly looking to. Some of these heroes are going to have even... We've already seen already how much this Witch Doctor struggles against this Slark Shadowblade. With an Echo Saber, he's going to be gone even quicker. Zip forth, they were looking for FM.
Yeah,
immediately out with the Remnants.
Changing his build up this time a little bit. He went for the Veil, and now he's going for a Blink Dagger. Last time we saw him go bots into Maelstrom, and Miposhka trying to get that kill onto General, but It's next to a shrine. He could be in some trouble now himself. Will he get the TP out? He will.
Yeah, nowhere to cancel it. Something that certainly is lacking from Na'Vi's lineup, as we mentioned from the draft. TP cancels, relying on pretty much, well, the Disruptor or the Storm to make things happen. Bottom lane talking about the Storm, Dendi. Season opening, and King R is going to become a bit of a punching bag for both the Storm and the Slark this game. He has to be so careful how he pokes his head out on the lanes, as they will be instantly in and bringing him down. Yeah,
we've been saying like it's a little bit rough for a Wisp game, but man, this poor Witch Doctor is going to suffer so hard in this game. 900 net worth for him only, level 6 just being picked up. Doesn't even bother grabbing his Death Ward. He's like, yeah, I'm not even going to get a Death Ward off in this game. Not this early on. I get looking for Chappie with Dendi.
Let's see if they can do it. He'll try and manage his way out of it, but a brilliant Static Storm actually trapping the Ember as well, as FN tried to commit for this. Looks to round out, but they have the damage to bring him down. Now with the Sprouts and Miposhka, they've got him just sat there, ready to pick up another. And this Na'Vi, it's looking like a total different Na'Vi to what we saw in Game 1, where Na'Vi just fell apart. They didn't have any sort of cohesion or kind of plan it seemed, but this game, everything is just fitting together perfectly, and they're pulling out some really good plays.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this game the Clockwork support is working out like the Spirit Breaker did. He's trying to do the same kind of thing, but it's not. He's just kind of dying. Ghostic now, getting a Black Hole on 3. They do relocate into it, but...
Oh, he's actually going to kill the Io by the looks of it.
Oh, he gets Io General looking low too. Dendi too.
Well, that went a lot better for Ghostic than I think Na'Vi were expecting. I mean, Dendi does kill himself, but all right. I mean, I was looking at that Black Hole going like, all right, well, where's the follow-up? But it looks like with the Midnight Pulse and the Eidolon's out, it was enough. I did not expect that.
Look at General just playing with Miposhka with the Treants, and now Dendi comes back top.
Oh, Ghostic, he's going to survive. I can't believe it. He just walked himself away from a slug. Oh my God. What the hell is happening?
What happened in mid? I was looking at the other fight.
No, the slot. Pycat was trying to finish off Ghostic, but he just jukes him around the tower, dodges the pounce on minimal health. That was just that Enigma play. I mean, I think Na'Vi are going to be a little gobsmacked, a little like I was. That was just perfect for Ghostic. He is going to be loving life right now.
BKB finished up already now too, and they have no way to cancel the BKB Black Hole, so that's kind of what he's going for. That was interesting.
Yeah,
Top lane General was also blocking Miposhka with his Treant, so Miposhka couldn't get the hook. I was looking at that one, but... Oh! Ghostic with the plays, bringing his team back.
Yeah, it really is. Fan finds himself an Io. Dendi can't get in to catch him quick enough. And yeah, as soon as we were saying Na'Vi were pulling out some good team play, just like that, they're starting to break apart again. Empire picking them apart. BKB Midas hitting the Blink Octree. Na'Vi will go for a smoke play. And there's no Black Hole. See what they can catch. King R and Miposhka, the two in the neighborhood. Certainly the two easiest kills on the board at the moment for Na'Vi to jump in on. And would ideally like something a little bit bigger if they can.
Yeah, at least they get a nice deep ward down though, but there is a sentry already on top of it, and Empire knows that this is up. They're hiding out.
Wildcat on the hunt again, completed Silver Edge.
He goes for the whole Silver Edge. Interesting.
That's...
Yeah, not really specific for anything to disable, but I guess he just wants the bonus stat attribute.
Miposhka should be caught out again here as they bring him back into the Static Storm. Dendi there with more than enough damage to take down the clock. So again, Miposhka getting beat down upon by Na'Vi.
The supports on the side of Empire are actually just punching bags. Yep, just like you said. These poor souls.
Really up to the cause to just make the most of the space being created by these dead, dying supports. Na'Vi though, into the pit. And not really any chance of Empire contesting. They'll make the line across. It's already down to less than half health. And unlikely that they can get there quite in time, as Na'Vi should be able to get this one out onto Dendi.
They want to go in though.
It's just a little too late. Fan will keep be glimpsed back, and Pycat says she's going to start to move over and see if we can find some sort of a setup. Okay, he just goes for the creeps in the middle, clears out the illusions, holds back the Eidolons, stops the push. And we'll be going for the Basher next. So Silver Edge trains the Basher for Pycat, giving a lot of solo kill potential. And Cinema said this isn't really a game where you feel the BKB is super necessary.
Oh, You see what General just picked up? He actually took the tree and summoned the +4 treants instead of the 20 int for the damage.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen many people do that, actually. I mean, it's a lot of treants. Apparently, also, if you sprout and you use your Nature's Call on top of the sprout directly, you can trap people as well. I mean, I don't think that's really what he's going for, but gives you more push potential and split push.
I like it. And where's your wave clear on Ember? On Empire? Well, it is the Ember. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Elsewhere, you know, extra treants is going to mess up the battery cell, make life a lot harder for the Clockwork in general.
More information on the map, too, if you can send the treants all over. I know General is a big fan of using these treants for a lot of scouting potential, so...
Yeah.
All right, cool. A little bit of a change up from what I'm used to seeing.
Let's see what they want to do now. Mapushka will look out for shot potential. We are seeing what the TB being forced to... He's buying a BKB this game, isn't he, Chappie?
Yeah, like one disruptor ult, I think he just recognized. He was like, wow. And I think he's expecting the Storm Spirit to go for Orchid. He already has the Manta style, but yeah, having just the double kind of defensive items is very good. And just being able to fight around those BKBs. They have the Enigma BKB and they have the Terrorblade BKB. As long as they can use those in the fights, should be very hard for Na'Vi to fight into them directly.
We're going to smoke up from Na'Vi. Thinking about heading into the jungle of Empire, up to that high ground. Dundee and Biver looking for the wraparound. Empire with a very strong position, though. So half of them do. They do drop the ward down. Na'Vi know what they're entering into. See if they can jump in first. The Nature's Wrath bounce through. There's the ward jump down. Oh! Static Storm jumping in the middle, but the BKB's already out from Chappie. Ghostic falling low, but he himself pots the BKB. Dendy doesn't have the damage to bring him down, but Poshka, hookshot across, straight away onto Biver. Biver, he's going to be the first to fall. The Death Thought from the Witch Doctor ends up popping the Aegis once. King R will lose his life. Pycat comes in from the side, cleans up Maposhka. Dendy, wondering if he can go back in. He knows that the BKB's now on cooldown. Would be a good time to re-enter. There's the zip in, looking for Ghostic, brings him back with the Vortex. Pycat trying to get an opening in onto the Enigma, but the Black Hole's there. Ghostic grabs two. That's going to be the Ioan down. Pycat still will find the kill. Now with the bashes onto Chappie, gets the Terrorblade as well, and they're looking to clean up for more. FN on his way out. He's got a Remnant to throw, but he hasn't got the mana to jump to it with the break here and the final ball of light flying through from Dendy. Triple kill will be picked up. And Na'Vi with a very nice fight there, realizing the BKBs, waiting them out, re-initiating, and getting a full team wipe at the end of the day.
Yeah, having that Aegis on Dendy comes back to life. He even had a regen rune as well in his bottle, so pretty much almost 3 lives for him. Heavy amount of Bloodstone charges acquired, and Na'Vi just looking very commanding in this game, almost up to a 15,000 gold lead with their non-stop aggression onto Empire.
Alright, zipping in, diving the tier 4s, looking for the shrines. Dendy, again, King R, such an easy kill for this Storm. No hope at all for King R in terms of coming forward. Now the TP's come through. Glimpse will be there onto Enigma. He's going to have to walk his way back towards this. Na'Vi will back, though. They'll take the tier 3 with the respawns coming out on Empire. I respect them. Yeah, great play for Na'Vi. Dendy starting to rack up the Bloodstone charges. Orchid now complete and with a fair bit of money to boot on top of it as well. Pycat will go for the Butterfly straight after the Skull Basher, knowing that any sort of MKB is just not going to be the item of choice for these heroes. Maybe eventually we can expect like a Bloodthorn on FN's Ember, but that's a long way away. So having evasion against this lineup is going to do a lot, especially against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, he's like, the only thing that can really kill me is the Terrorblade at this point, so if he just itemizes against it. I think Scotty's also just very good, also just the stats is very good on Slark always. But going for Butterfly is fine here. That's such a big advantage. I think it's very difficult for Empire to really come back in this type of situation, having no real lockdown versus these very slippery heroes on the side of Na'Vi. It's just, yeah, it's super difficult for them to fight now after that commanding lead that Na'Vi has.
Seneca's got the mech complete, ready for the next push. 3.4k on General. Lots of gold to spend for himself. Let's see how much pressure Na'Vi want to put on, or if it is going to be a case of waiting for Roshan again. Getting up that Aegis. And then taking things at a bit of a slower pace. And as this game scales on, I mean, both teams, they do have their advantages. The TV's going to get big, but Pycat's going to get bigger. And he does have the lead in net worth at the moment. And with that Midas, it's going to be hard for the Terrorblade to catch up unless he gets himself involved in a convincing fight.
Yeah, and it's pretty much going to be like Terrorblade versus the World, because the supports on the side of Empire are complete non-factors now in this game. The Clockwork has had very little impact. He's 1-7 actually, 0-7 on the Witch Doctor, so they've given up 14 out of the 22 kills to Na'Vi already on these two supports, not having pretty much, like actually almost any impact. They're just getting crushed by these very mobile heroes on the side of Na'Vi.
No, it's been an absolute nightmare for them. And another round that's going to cause issues for them. The Orchid will make it even easier for Dendi to zip in and zip out with the free pickoff. 500 gold away, and that will be the full butterfly complete for PyCap. 27 minutes in, having an insane game on the slot.
And there's, Empire is just, they're trapped in their base. They even Na'Vi even throws out a scan, expecting it. So they throw the scan in, they already catch a couple heroes there, and Empire has to sit behind people. They can't show pretty much anyone on the map by themselves because they'll just die. And I think this is a pretty desperate smoke. They have to try to get something.
PyCap was standing there. He was sitting right there, instantly dispelling it. And yeah, back to the drawing board for Empire.
They have to sit behind their cores with so many heroes, and even then, it's a high chance that they get brought down. King Art trying to get a ward out here. He's going to pay with his life. Yeah,
Biver is going to have the gunners back if needed, and it's not going to be PyCap. Oh, actually,
he didn't have
a little scared about going in on that. Yeah, holding back, then they don't go for what's the kill. I mean, understandably respecting the blink black hole potential of Ghost Stick. But yeah, very reserved play there for Na'Vi in a situation where it looks like they could have got away with that free pick.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal getting that.
I mean, it's not. It's like, it's killing a Witch Doctor again. What's it going to do for you?
It took 30 seconds. He's only level 8, so he respawns very quickly. Bottom lane, General looking for a pick off with the Orchid, but FN jumps right out.
22-10. Na'Vi with that 20,000 gold lead.
They're just going to keep pulling more and more ahead. Empire just can't leave their base. I can't find a solution. I can't even think of a solution for them in this game. They have to sit behind their cores, but they're just going to get super out-farmed. Navi's just going to be pushing all the waves into their faces, and yeah, it's really up to Na'Vi. It's really up to Na'Vi now to kind of throw this one away, which it's still extremely difficult for them to do because they can split push all 3 lanes, and eventually Empire will get caught down. They're very dependent on this black hole, which it's very difficult for him to try to get one off in this game.
Really, but Ghost Stick, how's he doing in terms of items after the Blink Dagger? Let's see.
Just the Blink BKB.
Well, the Blink of BKB, there's not going to be anything to cancel in this stage.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Slark could get an opportune position behind him and get a bash off, but that's very, very, very hard to do. Yeah. So, if he finds them, it's going to do a lot, and we're seeing him each time. He does manage to get the Midnight Pulse down before, so a lot of damage can be done. But it's a lot of ifs, and as you said, you've got to get that multi-man black hole, and it's going to be very hard to do.
And even it's just Na'Vi. I don't think that they're going to put themselves in that position. No. They're just going to keep doing this. They're just going to suffocate Empire, farm the whole map. We see even Generals farming Ancients. We see Wisp is running around in the safe jungle. Dendi's farming their whole jungle. They're just going to be pulling further and further ahead, just maximum efficiency until they can wait for the next Aegis and get their next couple items finished up, and then that might be when they try to go for breaking high ground. Whenever Empire does decide to leave their base. But they can't leave their base. So Cheppy is just getting further and further behind.
And bottom lane, Poshket. Seeing if anyone comes in for a bit of action against Chappie, but Na'Vi choosing to avoid the fights at the moment. As you said, just happy with the progression they're keeping themselves and the way that they're keeping ahead at the farm of Empire. DD on PyCat could cause Na'Vi to try and play a little more aggressive. Could certainly get something done. It'd be a good time to push.
Yeah, I think they still just wait for the Roche. It's going to be popping going to be respawning quite soon, so they should be able to check that one very shortly. Keep the waves pushed in. And that will probably be, get the Aegis, put it on Storm Spirit. Actually, I don't even know if they can, they'll probably put it on the Storm. It's just he's just the best Aegis carrier anyway, so. Mid lane, Chappie. PyCat trying to put a little bit of aggression, but he's just going to clear the creep wave out. And there we go. Roche is scouted. Na'Vi going to start making their move there. General can always keep pushing the side lanes in anyway because he's a Nature's Prophet. And he's got a Mjolnir as well, so he can really quickly push the side lanes in.
Empire will know it's up as well. Maposhka throwing that rocket flare out, but can they afford to get out there and contest it? That's the question. Will they go?
They're getting onto General. They have Dust. They're actually able to grab him here.
Yeah, Maposhka and FM working together to find the kill. And now the rest of the team is moving over to the pit.
1100 kill bounty.
Can Ghostic do something massive here? They're slightly split up. Jump forward from Ghostic is not going to be the jump into the black hole that he needs to find, though. Dendy still in the pit, along with Pycat. They'll finish off Roshan, get themselves the Aegis. And now Empire, they have to be careful again. Dendy with the Shiva's Guard straight in onto the Enigma, who pots the BKB, looking for an opportunity to turn a black hole, but they've already lost the Witch Doctor. Blink out in time from Ghostic. Na'Vi ready to chase for more. They'll get the glimpse. No. Okay, BKB popped by Chappie. Making sure that he doesn't get dragged back. Will TP away. Again, as we're saying, just very hard for Ghostic to find these black hole opportunities. Na'Vi still getting the Roshan and the Aegis. 18 Bloodstone charges onto Dendy. He is having quite the game on the Storm Spirit. And it just hasn't been the similar story to the other games where we've seen FN catch back up on the Ember. He's been kept behind and really can't do anything against the pressure now from Na'Vi.
Yep, Na'Vi just non-stop in dictating the pace of this game. Putting Empire on the defensive. Empire not able to really catch up after this because their supports have just been so underwhelming, honestly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But it is also because of the way that Na'Vi drafted. It makes it a lot more difficult for them to really do anything. Catching Slark, catching Storm Spirit is just super difficult with these type of heroes.
It's going to be the tower going down the top lane as Pycat went in and out, poked and prodded. Bottom lane, the Treants putting pressure onto the tier 3.
The +6 tree, or the +4 Treants, sorry.
Very hard for Empire to deal with. Early is BKB, the gold only 1,000 away for Dendy. He's got that. Very little that Empire can do to stop him.
Yeah, they're going to force all the side lanes in, and then they're probably going to... I don't even know if they have to go just for one type of lane. They might just keep doing that kind of split push. They've almost got all of the tier 3s brought down, and they have the potential to siege multiple different angles. Because I don't know if they really want to just group up still versus that black hole. It still can be a little bit intimidating going high ground.
Ooh, they do catch Dendy here. Jump forward, pushing him back with the cogs, and great chain stun. They'll take him down once. Can they do it again, though? There's already a reaction coming in. Ghostic pops the black hole, will catch Dendy, and that will allow them to bring him down second. I know he gets the deny off in time, and now they've got to be careful. Empire has committed the BKB on Chappie. Again, just having to go for the BKB TP out. Pycat seeing if he can catch some stragglers on the back of this. The TPs and the blinks away are successful. So they don't get a kill as such, but they do force Dendy to kill himself. Bloodstone charges will drop down, but that was the commitment of the black hole, the BKB on the TB. Again, it's a lot of commitment from Empire, and it just doesn't feel like enough.
And now they don't have that for the defense. So they tried to go for an aggressive type of play, but now at this point it might bite them in the ass a little bit when Na'Vi tries to go for the high ground siege and they don't have hull for 100 seconds. Na'Vi being very patient though.
Yeah, all up to Dendy really much to kick them off by jumping in and finding a quick pick to start their fight. That's how they like to do it.
The Treants, they're bringing down the Ranger Axe. Pycat just runs in, no fear whatsoever.
Big issue for Empire. There's Na'Vi. Now coming to a 30,000 lead in net worth. General has been farming an absolute tree this entire game.
Yeah.
And, can we just check on the slot? He just said he picked up a butterfly.
He's got a whole nother item
He's picked up a second one. Yeah, he's bought a second butterfly.
Sack evasion.
What a mad lad. I mean,
why not?
Why not? It's an item that does everything you want on a slot. They'll jump past Ghostic, turn straight back towards him, and Ghostic's out and down.
His damage is absurd on the Slark too with his double butterfly attack speed.
I mean, yeah, attack speed, agi, as you said, evasion, everything you could want on this Slark this game.
I think it's just because of how far ahead he is. Yeah. It's just like, I could go Scotty. Nah, I'll just get a second butterfly. It's just too good versus Terrorblade. He can't.
It really is.
So tier 3 claimed bottom by General. Ranger Axe claimed top. Still playing it pretty safe though. Still just trying to watch out for that black hole. They don't want to, by any means, throw away their 32,000, 33,000.
That's quite the lead that they could throw. Yeah. How long are we seeing until the black hole's back up?
It should be up in about it's very shortly.
10 seconds. Okay.
And you had to use buyback before too, so if they do bring him down again, that'll probably be where Na'Vi can close this one out. But still, patience from Na'Vi.
Again, one of these games that certainly seems to be coming to a point where a team just really with limited options in terms of ways to play it out.
This is just a sad way, you know. When you're playing these games, I've been in these games a lot. You're just, guys, we're trapped in our base. We really can't go out there versus a Slark and a Storm. Anyone who walks out is just gonna get caught. Chappy now, showing his face. He's got BKB and Manta though, so he's okay. He's gonna get glimpsed. They're gonna force maybe a BKB.
Actually, yeah, doesn't pop the BKB. Now he'll come out with it. And will turn. But look at Pike already trying to get position on the back lines, but they have got vision onto him.
Defensive BKB though. No, they don't have it for the fight.
Very much ready to go high ground, I'm sure, and try and punish that.
Shrines, only 2 shrines used top by Empire. They have 2 in the mid lane now still, but it's going to be much harder for them to defend high ground without any shrines either. Pycat walking in, jumping out. Slowly whittling down the range racks. Treant's going to get the bottom range racks. Middle lane as well, going to be brought down soon by General. He's just giving it the right click.
It's just a slow and painful pushing onto Empire. Doing their best to stall, but pretty impossible lead for them to deal with that Na'Vi have. As Pycat looking in on the top lane, comes in with the Silver Edge. Again, just backing in and out towards those racks. Kind of pulling Empire between both the mid lane and the top lane. As the Treants Ascent storming in. Pycat. Next up, we'll be going back for the Abyssal. So, returning to a bit of sensibility. It's very close to hitting the 25 as well here.
Yeah, having a reliable lockdown. You know, like we mentioned, they don't really have a crazy amount of stuns in their draft, but this is just going to make it easier for him to try to just catch somebody out of position. Slow and painful death for Empire.
How do Na'Vi mess this one up? That is, as you said, the question that Empire are going to be asking themselves.
Quite impossible.
They need to do something a major throw. I mean, we're seeing Refresher being built towards by Ghostic. Maybe a double Midnight Pulse, double Black Hole could do some magic. But you need to hit all 5. And
he's going to have to get those a few times. I mean, it's a 40,000 gold advantage almost, so. With a Storm and a Slark and a Furan who have, I mean, they're hitting critical mass pretty soon.
And very little is going to be able to stop him. Pycat hanging around with his own reflection there. And it's off. What's the plan, Empire? Where's the jump?
I don't think that they really want to. They have to just kind of sit in their base.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's a crappy way to have to play, but they can't. I mean, if they go on the aggressive and they use Black Hole, then that's Na'Vi's opportunity to go. Ghostic getting dropped pretty low from that Nature's Prophet ultimate. They're forced to use another Shrine, so now they've only got 2 total up in their base. Very slow and painful death.
At this rate, Na'Vi could even just wait for the Roshan to come back up.
I mean, it's going to be up. Maximum time is within the next like 2 minutes or so. It's got about 1 minute and 10 seconds until it is up. Oh, they get the courier too.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Picked up there. I think Denny might have spotted that one out.
Oh my god, it's actually going to be 40k gold lead. I don't remember the last time I saw 40,000 gold lead. Last game was 30 at the end of the game, but this time the game's not even over and it's already 40.
Refresh. I mean, dude, if they turn this one around, but it's very small, improbable chance that will happen.
Even if he gets like an amazing double Black Hole, like this Storm Spirit revives super quickly. They have buybacks, that relocates as well. They have so many different lives. I mean, it'll be lovely. It'll be really cool if he is able to get a good opportunity, but Na'Vi isn't even giving them the chance. They're not grouping up at all. They're not clumping. They're just pushing in all the side lanes over and over again, accruing a bigger and bigger advantage. And now General is changing his item build up a bit. He looks like he's going to be going for what it looks like an Aghanims, maybe something along those lines, just to keep the side lanes pushed in and send massive amounts of treants at those Rexes.
Oh, Pycat having a bit of fun here with the Terror Blade.
God.
And actually, Illusion's causing him some confusion, but he still does find the kill eventually. Now the player responds, but again, with the Dark Pact, no way they can catch it. Buyback will be there for TB, Maposhka. Look at the lead in. On the top, Black Hole committed. They're trapped Dendy, they're bringing down once. BKB not enough to save him. Did cost the Black Hole, did cost the buyback. And still the lead does prevail for Na'Vi.
1,300 gold for Terrorblade. Too bad he bought back, so he doesn't get much.
I'll take that.
Oh, yeah. Well, this has ended up being Again, they're certainly a little longer than you feel as it should be. Na'Vi.
Rushes up. With
Yeah,
the cheese
that will be the
there we
good
go.
call for
That'll
Na'Vi.
be there.
Give themselves the Aegis and cheese, and then there's no excuse for them to hold back from going in and attempting the finishing blow.
That is a very fast attacking Slark.
Moonshot and double butts. That'll do it for you. On with what, the 18 essence shift he's built up.
He's got max attack speed.
Very tasty. Oh,
Even almost without the overcharge, he's close to max attack speed. No, he has it. Yeah, he has max attack speed even without it. So, Pycat now. Critical mass. He can still even pick up another item too. It's lovely.
there you can. There's space to do so. He'll hold on to that cheese though for now. As Empire have managed to find a bit of courage to come out of the base a little bit. Poshka chilling in the trees. Ghostic is going to be the man, of course, that we're watching. Looking for him to land those black holes. Ideally onto multiple. We're seeing, obviously, it has to use them in opportunities like that to kill Dendi. Does have the refresh for a second usage.
Aghanim's finished up for General. He's got level 25, so he's got the double HP treants. Double HP and damage.
Ghostic pops the BKB immediately. They do have a good bit of chain stun onto Dendi. Dendi dropping rather low, but he's forced back out.
All three lanes being sieged, though.
Yeah.
The treants in mid lane, Pycat in the top lane, General in the bottom lane. Again, now mid lane.
Dendi's very low. But yeah, Suneko's there to back him up. Black hole was used. Did he use the refresher? I don't think he did, Ghostic.
No.
So he is going to have the double black hole. There's the go in again. Being made onto the TB. Does manage to get the mount off. Sun does the wish to keep himself alive. Dendi trying to finish off this Enigma, but Ghostic will survive. Post the refresher. Trying for a play, but he refreshes BKBs and then just dies. That's the Enigma out of it for 90 seconds. Pycat being forced back by the Terror Blade. Biver falling down low, but again, the glimpse is there to rip the clock away. GG is finally called by Empire. And Na'Vi, they will take the second game. So the first series ending at 1-1.
It is 50,000 gold lead.
A 50,000 gold lead.
Wow.
That was, yes, as you said, normally by that time, or well before that time, the game is over and called GG. But Empire choosing to hold in. Maybe they could have made a play with the black hole, but it was looking pretty